I attract very neurotic women. People might call them crazy. I know I have before, but crazy comes with such a negative connotation, so I rather just call them neurotic. Some people might think it's a curse, but I honestly feel like it's like a blessing in disguise. I've been told the saying before that you attract the same energy you possess, and while it sounds like a cliche, it's honestly one of the most true sentiments out there. I have psychotic features and it shows in the types of women I hang around. Out of the 5 women I've become intimate with, 3 of them have been on antipsychotics. One of them had bipolar, and then the other one was just a generally neurotic individual. I remember the first one I tried getting into a relationship with, there were so many walls and roadblocks I was trying to overcome just to have a healthy relationship with them. At that time in my life, I didn't really know that much about mental health and how it could affect relationships. So I thought, hey, I'm the man in the relationship. If the relationship isn't going well, it's because I'm personally doing something wrong. I need to be a bigger man and take control of the relationship. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. I didn't know that it was also just a possibility that the person you're dating could, just not be ready for a relationship yet. That goes the same for myself, not being ready for one either. I honestly wish I could redo some of these relationships I've had and just slow things down. Maybe instead of trying to get into like a relationship with them, just start out as being friends with benefits first or something. What you talking about, nigga? Stop being horny. I really hate that whenever anyone thinks of friends with benefits, they immediately think the guy or girl is in the friendship just for sex. Like, they skip the friends part and only hear the benefits part and assume, oh, you just want to fuck, huh? Believe it or not, that's more of just a byproduct of being attracted to someone and less of the main objective. You should be their friend first and everything else comes after. I've had 3 friends with benefits, and it's honestly just a lot easier to deal with than a full-blown relationship. It's not just the fact that I attract neurotic women, but also the fact that, again, I myself am pretty neurotic. The 2 relationships I've been in, a nigga went legit schizo mode. Both times I was in a relationship, it resulted in me getting psychosis from obsessing over the person and the relationship. Love and liking people in general just feels so intoxicating to me. And I'm sure the women I've dated have their own sort of quirks that come out whenever their love hormones start secreting. Anger, fear, self-esteem issues. No joke, I remember complimenting my first ex and she got so frustrated. I was like, you have pretty eyes. And then she was like, no, I don't. They're not even colored. They're just regular brown eyes. Then she started comparing herself to her friend. It's kind of sad because that girl really did have pretty eyes. I'm more of like an eye shape sort of guy than an eye color sort of guy. That's just me. But she was so pissed at what I said. You never know what someone's gone through, especially when they're a neurotic woman. Again, neuroticism attracts neuroticism. There are some neurotic men that don't know how to control their neuroticism or like healthy ways of dealing with it. Some people respond to being neurotic by self-isolating like I do, and then there are others that respond to it by projection or like lashing out. Both are pretty bad coping mechanisms, but I'd say lashing out is objectively worse. There are a few neurotic women I know that have been with the projecting, lashing out type of neurotic men in their past, and it just makes loving them even more of a challenge. Good luck trying to get close to a woman that's been domestically abused, okay? It's definitely not impossible, but their sense of love being a sanctuary to rest their heart, mind, and body has been disillusioned. It takes time to rebuild confidence after a situation like that. It's not your job to fix anyone, by the way. Like, I like to add that disclaimer. It's not your job to fix people, no matter how beautiful or how much potential you think that they have. I'd like to think that people heal emotional wounds the more they age anyways, but seeing 50-year-old men or 40-year-old women talk down about each other, all men are shit, all women are shit, and just chase money, kind of changes my philosophy a little bit. Then again, that could just be a vocal minority, but I'm not too sure. I feel like the end goal should be a monogamous relationship with someone, but I also feel like people should dabble more in casual love instead of trying so hard to put all their eggs all in one basket, getting the rug swept from under them, and then giving them this misconception that, oh, love is fake. No, love isn't fake. You just decided to put your energy into the wrong person. If friends with benefits were more of the norm, actual friends with benefits, not just, oh, I'm horny and want to fuck someone I know, people's emotional intelligence would increase. You know, people would understand more of what they like, what turns them on, what turns them off, the sort of kinks they have. They'd be much more exposed to other flavors of what humans have to offer. But there are a lot of people just so focused on reaching the end game without going on the journey. Oh, why not just be friends with someone? Why the need to have benefits? Because one, it's just more intimate. Like, it feels closer to being in a romantic relationship. And while, yes, again, it's not your job to heal people with emotional wounds, physical touch is a very healing love language, you know? Pair that with just being a sincere person to someone, you can either change their perspective on love or at least help them cope in some way while, you know, they still have a negative mindset about it. Not to say that's the objective, okay? I'm not saying healing someone is the objective, but it's definitely a welcome byproduct because you never know who you're dealing with, right? Two, you never really understand how much you like someone until your instincts or hormones kick in. Love is both mental and physical. You know, there's so much information you send and receive during sex. It's definitely its own form of communication. For me, I can tell how much I like a girl based on how much stamina it feels like I'm using during sex. There's someone I've been with that when we did stuff with each other, it didn't really even feel like I was using any energy at all. I don't want to give too many details, but our sessions would last for like an hour to like half an hour. And yeah, while I still did get tired by the end of it, it just felt like someone winded me the fuck up. Like the energy I used during the deed wasn't my own energy. Like I borrowed that shit from the universe or something. Nigga used the spirit bomb, but for sex. Where am I going with all this? Yes, people are crazy, okay? Both women and men, right? But it's the whole cultural structure of relationships that further inflames people's neuroticism or issues that they've had from the past. Some people don't even allow their boyfriend or girlfriend to have any male or female friends in fear that they'll be cheated on. Some people are coming from that. Like, imagine you're a mentally ill person or even just a neurotypical person, and your partner decides the best way for you to grow as an individual is to take away some of the people that you're friends with. If you weren't mentally ill then, you will be now. People need to explore more. People need to love more. Love people without trying to own them. Again, this isn't to say I'm against monogamy or exclusive relationships. That's definitely my end goal, to eventually be like in a healthy monogamous relationship. But there are lots of situations where being friends with benefits would far greatly benefit both of you, your friend, even the relationship ecosystem as a whole, than it would being a couple. There's no need to treat sex or intimacy as like this sacred ritual. Too much of that mindset stems from like outdated philosophies. Eventually you will find your special someone at the end of the journey, but there's really no need to rush it or adhere to like cultural barriers to reach that end goal. Again, this is mostly my perspective, being someone that's highly neurotic and attracts other highly neurotic people. Your experience may vary, who knows? But that's all I gotta say. Have a good one.